Hello students, greetings of the day. In last lecture we already have discussed the user requirements and system requirements. In today's lecture we are going to discuss another types of requirements, that is nothing but functional requirement and non-functional requirement. In today's topic we are going to discuss the subtopics like software requirements, then requirement engineering, then we are going to discuss the requirement engineering process, and after that at the end of this topic we are going to discuss functional and non-functional requirements. Actually in the previous lecture itself we have discussed the software requirements, requirement engineering and requirement engineering process. So in today's lecture we will just discuss that, or we will overlook those concepts and we will see the functional and non-functional requirement. So first is software requirement. In the last lecture itself we have discussed the software requirements are the descriptions of features and functionalities of the target system. We are going to discuss it with our customer. Then those requirements will be provided by the customer, and those requirements will get analyzed, and from that we are going to describe the functions and features that we are going to provide into our target system. Okay, so requirements convey the expectations of users from the software product. From these requirements we are going to know what are the expectations are from users from that software. The requirements can be obvious. Yes, in the last lecture itself we have discussed the requirements are can be obvious or hidden. Those requirements can be known or unknown, and also expected and unexpected. So this is software requirement. Now the requirement engineering. The requirement engineering is nothing but a process to gather the software requirements from client and analyze those requirements and prepare one document, right? Prepare one document, that is nothing but your requirement engineering. The main goal of this requirement engineering is to develop and maintain the sophisticated and descriptive system requirement specification document. This SRS document is very important. In this SRS document, with the help of requirement engineering, we are going to gather the requirements. The same gathered requirement will be analyzed, and those analyzed requirements will be placed into one document. That document is known as system requirement specification. Then next is there, that is requirement engineering process. In the last lecture itself we also have discussed this topic also, requirement engineering process. It is a 4-step process. In that first we are going to get the feasibility of that product or feasibility study, then requirement gathering, software requirement specification, and the last one will be there, that is software requirement validation. Okay, in the last lecture we discussed the system requirement and user requirement. In today's lecture we are going to discuss another 2 types of requirements, that are the requirements can also be divided into 2 important classes. The first is functional requirement and the another is non-functional requirement. So let us discuss what is this functional requirement and what are the non-functional requirement. So first is functional requirement. What are functional requirement? These are the requirements that the end user specifically demands as basic functionalities or basic facilities that the system should offer. Means what? The functionalities that are provided by any system or by any product, those are nothing but the functional requirement, right? In case one example, we should take one example. Okay, in an example we can take example just like let ATM system, right? ATM system provides us one functionality, that is nothing but it shows us the transactions, last 10 transactions, right? So this is nothing but one of the functionality that is provided by the that system, right? So we can call it as a functional requirement, means all the banks or all the ATM, we can say that customers needs this function into their system. That is why they provided the requirement that they want such a kind of functions into their system. So these are the functional requirement. These are the functional requirement that end users specifically demand as a basic functionality. Okay, all these functionalities need to be necessarily incorporated into the system as a part of contract. Okay, obviously all these functionalities need to be necessarily incorporated into a system. All these functionalities are provided in a system as a part of contract, the contract which is placed in between a software developer and the customer or the owner of that software. These are the represented or stated in the form of input to be given to the system, the operations performed and the output expected. These functional requirements are presented or represented in a way that they are having in the form of input given to the system, then the process that is carried out into this with the system, and the output that we are expecting. Again we will discuss the same example, that is of ATM machine. In ATM machine we are having one functionality which is nothing but the transactions, last 10 transactions. So how we can represent this into a system or with the help of our functional requirement? What will be the input? The input provided will be the your, what we can say, that your pin code, right? And one key. After pressing that key, it will process all the transactions or show all the transactions on your print. So the operations performed, what will be the operations performed? It will analyze all the last 10 operations, and the output expected will be the printout, right? What output we are going to expect? We are going to expect a printout of your last 10 transactions. Okay, then the last is, they are basically the requirements stated by the user which one can see directly in the final product, unlike the non-functional requirement. These requirements are basically requirements which are stated by the user and which one can see directly in the final project. These functional requirements can be viewed as an output or as an functionality of your final product. So these are the functional requirement. We can call it as a functional requirement, means or the functionalities and features that are provided by operating by any kind of system, any software, that is nothing but your functional requirement. Then next is non-functional requirement. What are those non-functional requirement? These are basically the quality constraint that the system must satisfy according to the project's contract. Non-functional requirements are nothing but quality constraints, means different quality constraint that should be achieved by that software according to their contract, right? Means the different things are there that we are going to discuss after in the same slide. The priority or the exact to which these factors are implemented varies from one project to the another. The priorities and the operations that we are going to perform, that are varies from one project to another. In one project you can execute one part before, right? The one part of code before. In another we can execute the second part before. So it varies on project basis. Okay, they are also called as non-behavioral requirement. Non-functional requirements are also called as non-behavioral requirement. The issues that we are going to, or the quality constraint that we are going to take in consideration in this non-functional requirements are as below. The first is portability, then security, maintainability and reliability. Portability means what? The system can be portable from one system to the another system, means the system can be run, or the system can be executed on every system. It should be platform independent, that is nothing but portability. Then security, obvious very important part is nothing but security. Every software that you are going to develop should provide a security. As an example, we just discussed the ATM machines example. In that example, it is very mandatory that that system should provide a security. Unless and until that system is not providing security, that software will be a will is not going to provide, or is not going to uh, follow the customer's requirement, right? Achieve the customer's requirement. So security is also important. If there is no security, anybody can view the another user's transactions and all those things. So security is also important. Maintainability in this part, if I want any kind of upgradation, then that upgradation can be done easily, right? I can maintain that code, or the maintain, if there is some kind of maintenance, I just need to change some kind of code, that should be done very easily. That is maintainability. And obviously the reliability, right? Reliability is nothing but the chance of failure. The less chance of failure, then the reliability is high. So these are the things that can be comes under the non-functional requirement. Okay, so we discussed the functional requirement and non-functional requirement, the functionalities that are provided into our system. The features that are provided under our systems are the functional requirement, and non-functional requirements are the quality constraints that should be provided under in our project. And those constraints are just like portability, security, maintainability, reliability, and etc. So let's move towards the next slide. We just discussed the functional requirement and non-functional requirement. In this slide, we are going to discuss the functional requirement and non-functional requirement as an difference. Okay, we will discuss these 2 points with the help of differentiation. So the first is non-functional, and the second column is first column is functional requirement, and another column is non-functional requirement. So let us see what is functional requirement. First point is, a functional requirement defines a system or its component. Yes, it defines the system or its component. The functionalities that are provided by that system are nothing but the component of that system. On the other hand, a non-functional requirement defines the quality attribute. Yes, these are the quality attributes that we are going to define under the non-functional requirement. The next is, it specifies what should the software system do. Yes, the functionalities and the features that are provided by that system specifies what should that system should do. But on the other hand, it places the constraints on how should the software system fulfill the functional requirement. Obviously, we are going to perform the different kind of functions and features into that system, right? That will be our functional requirement. But how we are going to do those kind of functionalities, or how we are going to provide those kind of functionalities, that is going to be decided with the help of the constraint that we already have discussed in the last slide, right? We are going to place the constraints on that thing that we are going to implement in the functional requirement. So how should the system software fulfill this functional requirement with the help of constraints, or how we are going to place those constraints into that, are the non-functional requirement. Then next is there, I'm sorry, just a minute. Yes, the functional requirement. Functional requirements are specified by the user. Obviously, what kind of features and functionalities that are required by that software, it is going to be decided by the user. User itself will decide what kind of functions he wants into his software. Non-functional requirements is specified by technical people. Yes, the software developers and the technical persons, those are related to that softwares, will decide that non-functional requirement is specified by those technical persons. Then functional requirement, obviously it is mandatory. Non-functional requirements are not mandatory, right? the constraints or the quality constraint, those we discussed in the previous lecture. It is not necessary all those constraints should be applied to each and every project, correct? So these are the constraints that are, or the non-functional requirements are not mandatory. If you require, you can apply those constraints, otherwise it is not mandatory. It is captured in a use case. All those functional requirements can be captured or can be viewed with the help of use case diagram. What kind of functionalities we are going to provide into our project, that can be placed into a use case diagram, and we can capture it, you can understand it with the help of use cases. It is captured as a quality attribute. All those non-functional requirements are captured as a quality attribute. Then next is defined at the component level. The functional requirements are defined at the component level. Whenever we are going to prepare the design, in this design we are going to decide the components. Component diagrams are also there. So those, at the time of that component level, we are going to decide what kind of functionalities or what kind of features that we are going to provide into this into the project with the help of functional requirement. And the last non-functional requirement, it is applied to a system as a whole. Means all those attributes, quality attributes, can be applied to that system as a whole. Means you can mark those quality attributes to all the constraints, to all the systems, all the functionalities and all the features of that software. So these are the functional and non-functional requirement as a difference. Then next point is helps you to verify the functionality of the software. Functional requirements will help you to verify the functionalities, right? Then on the other hand, non-functional requirement, it will help you to verify the performance of the system, obviously. Then next is functionality testing, like system integration, end-to-end API testing, etc. are done. Under the functional requirement, we are going to perform functional testings like system integration, end-to-end and API testing. In non-functional testing, the performance, then stress, the usability of that function, then security testings are carried out. Then last is usually easy to define. Functional requirements are very easy to design, but on the other hand, non-functional requirements are somewhat difficult to define. It will require a technical knowledge to define the non-functional requirement, but user defined or the functional requirements can be defined easily. These are nothing but just requirements, the functionalities and features that are required by the user into your system. Then next is the example. The last slide, the functional requirement example. Let us discuss the one of the example, that is nothing but authentication of user where he or she logs into a system. Authentication, just we explained the ATM system. In that, at the time of accessing any kind of feature from that ATM system, you should be authenticated with the help of your username and password, right? So this is nothing but the functional requirement, right? On the other hand, non-functional requirement, let us discuss one example. Email should be sent with the latency of number no greater than 12 hours from such an activity. So this is nothing but a non-functional requirement, right? In this, we are going to decide the latency for that email. Email should be sent with a latency of no greater than 12 hours from such an activity. Means with the help of this, we are going to decide the security constraint or the quality constraint of our system by using this non-functional requirement. And obviously this will be very difficult to understand to the user, correct? This will be very difficult to understand by user. This can be understood by only the technical persons or the developers and all the stakeholders, just like technical stakeholders that are related with the software. So this is nothing but the functional requirement and non-functional requirement differentiation. We are having more examples, but I think this is okay. You can just read out those functional requirement and non-functional requirements example and you can understood this. Okay, so this is the functional requirement and non-functional requirement. In today's lecture we just have discussed the software requirements, then requirement engineering and the requirement engineering process. Those topics we already have discussed in the last lecture also, but we today we just overlooked those topics and then we just defined the functional requirements and the non-functional requirement, and after that we just see or we just differentiated the functional requirement and non-functional requirement. So this is today's lecture. In next lecture we will discuss the next topic. Thank you.